Hello my lovelies, my darlings, welcome to your full moon in Aquarius yoga class. My name is Natasha, also known as Nurse Natasha on all platforms. Hello, if you haven't practiced with me before, welcome. I specialize in teaching classes accessible for all levels, all bodies, and in accordance with astrology, the new moons, the full moons, and body acceptance and self-love and just all that jazz. So welcome. If you've been here before, hello. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and follow me on TikTok and Instagram as Nurse Natasha. Yeah, I know, I'm excited. I love Aquarius. Aquarius is probably one of my favorite signs. I have a lot of Aquarius friends. I'm a Pisces and I feel like Aquarius and Pisces are kind of like the weird ones together. I don't know. We're also coming up on the end of Cancer season. Thank you, because I love Cancers too. Obviously water sign, love water signs, but I don't know about you guys, but it has just been an emotional roller coaster this Cancer season because Cancer. So we're transitioning out of Cancer season into Leo season. So Leo season starts the day before this full moon, and here's the thing. The next two full moons are going to be in Aquarius. So you're gonna get two of very similar, not the same, but two very similar classes for this month and next month. We got two full moons in Aquarius. Both of them have different things going on. But yeah, it's rare that we get two in a row of the same sign. So this first one is on July 23rd, the night into the 23rd, into the 24th. Aquarius, everybody, I feel like when you first get into astrology, you're like, is Aquarius a water sign? Is it an air sign? I don't know. It is actually an air sign, but Aquarius is the water bearer. So how it's portrayed is, a person holding, the water, pouring it out. So Aquarius is the water bearer. So I think that's also why Aquarius and water signs get along well. But what that's about is Aquarius takes that water, which is emotions, and transmutes it with that air energy. And it gives us the ability to transmute it into something powerful, transmute it into something we can use, and also transmute it to let it go. So what are we gonna do this full moon? As we know, full moons are about releasing, letting go. So we're gonna let go of all that Cancer season emotions, but most importantly, the opinions of others, any kind of rigid old rules that you've given yourself. We're gonna let go of those. These usually are brought on by the opinions of others or traditions or stuff that just doesn't vibe with us anymore. Aquarius is all about being themselves and expressing themselves and being true to themselves, and that's what this full moon is about. Let your freak flag fly, so to speak. Break free of old habits, rigid ideas, and practices. So again, anything that's not serving you, that's just like an old idea that you're like, why doesn't, I feel like this is what I was taught, this is what I was supposed to do, but it's not working. Like, why is it not working? We gotta let it go. Let go of the supposed tos, let go of the should-haves, the could-haves, the would-haves. We gotta let it go. In the body, Aquarius rules your lower extremities, so forearms, wrists, calves, and ankles, and also the circulatory system. So we are going to be working a little bit on those calves, the wrists, these parts of us today, and also the throat chakra, because of course Aquarius again is about expressing yourself and speaking your truth and just activating that ability to freely express yourself, which is in the throat chakra. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So this full moon, if you can let go of the burdens, beliefs, opinions of others, these rigid rules and practices that don't serve you, you're going to feel so much lighter and freer this full moon. And it's going to bring you closer to your goals, because these old beliefs, these old patterns, these old ideas and other people's opinions, these are how our limiting beliefs show up. Most of the time, your limiting belief, that negative voice inside your mind, is not yours. When you were born, you were not born with those thoughts, right? They were put on us by society and other people and trauma, and we gotta let them go because they're not serving us, and we gotta transmute that energy and work through it. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I think I covered all of it. Yeah, also I wanted to say thank you so much for the 20K. I just hit 20K here on YouTube. I'm gonna start vlogging. Kind of scared because I don't know how to vlog, but that's coming. If there's anything certain you guys would like to see, like a day in my life or my morning routine, I'm going to vlog my full moon ritual. And I'm also thinking about doing tarot readings for the new moons and full moons. So let me know what you think. I'm always open to ideas. I want to know what you guys want to see from me. I also put out a bunch of new yoga classes, a gloomy day yoga. I'm going to be putting out classes specifically for people in bigger bodies or plus size bodies, just so you have a place to start. I already put out one for low back pain, so that's there. All right, I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get started. So we are going to be using blocks today. So go ahead and grab your blocks. Should have mentioned this at the beginning of class, but I got excited and I forgot. So we're gonna be using blocks. Mine are from This Is Ollie with the moon phases. Gotta love them. You can use books that are this general shape and size. They sell blocks at Target, Walmart, Amazon, lots of places where you can get them. Five Below, if you have one of those. I used to love Five Below when I lived in Chicago. I don't live there anymore. We don't have them, but they're under $5. So we're gonna be using some blocks today. So we're gonna get started in a supported fish pose to start to open that throat. So you're gonna place one block on your mat. It can be on whatever kind of height setting you'd like. And this is gonna go right in between your shoulder blades, right kind of where your bra line would be, right in between those shoulder blades. And we're gonna lay back on this block. Now you have the option to use this other block. I personally don't need this block, but it would go under your head like a little pillow. I'm gonna just put it off to the side because we'll be using it. If you need it again, use it underneath your pillow, but we're gonna come to lay on this block. So again, right in between those shoulder blades, and you're just kind of gonna let those shoulder blades melt over that block. And again, putting that other block underneath your head if you need it. Just laying back on this block, and take a moment to get yourself situated. We don't want to be in pain, we just want to feel that opening sensation. It is a little uncomfortable at first. Letting your shoulder blades again melt open over that block, maybe having your palms facing up to receive energy. And what we want to do here is really make sure our chin is lifted. So we're opening that throat. Now, option for the legs, you can have them bent like me with your feet bottoms on the ground. You can open up the knees if you want maybe a little hip opener. And we can tap into that, Cancer season emotional release energy. Or you can extend the legs long. Do what feels best for you. I'm going to leave my knees bent here. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. And we're just going to breathe. We're going to use our breath to bring ourselves to this moment, to our mats, to the present. We're going to take up space here. So remembering as we breathe, we're not sucking anything in. When we inhale, we expand the chest, expand the belly. Honor our bodies, take up space. And as we exhale, just start to let go. On every exhale, maybe feel your shoulders kind of melt open over that block a little bit more. And check in here. As we breathe, we're going to start to take inventory of the mind, the body, the soul. Notice tensions, blockages, constraints. I know in this pose, my shoulders, my neck are wanting to tense up, and so I'm going to have to use my breath to just let them relax. And again, these blockages don't have to be physical. They can be mental, emotional, spiritual. What's coming up for you? Start to think about here again those old practices, old limiting beliefs, old behaviors, other people's opinions, all those things that we need to let go of. We have to acknowledge them first. How are we going to let go? How are we going to transmute that energy if we don't even know what they are? So just allow yourself to be aware. And as we do that, we practice curiosity, which means we practice non-judgment, non-attachment. We don't attach ourselves to these thoughts, and we don't judge ourselves for them because, hey, we're human. It's part of the human condition. We just acknowledge them so we can let them go. Continuing to breathe here. And again, as you continue to breathe, now that we know those things we want to let go of, how are you going to be authentically you after you let go of these things? Because again, a lot of these things come from other people. Their beliefs of other people, of society. So once you let go of these old rigid rules and practices and supposed tos and shoulda, coulda, wouldas, how do you show up as authentically you? What is maybe something you've wanted to do or wanted to pursue but felt like you couldn't because of other people's opinions? How does being the true, real you look? And that's going to be our affirmation for class today. I will speak my truth, tapping into that throat chakra. I will speak my truth. I will express myself freely. And I will be authentically me. You can pick one of those or all of those. Say it out loud if you need to. We're going to seal that with a breath. So take a big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. Big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I already kind of forgot I was laying on this block. Feels good, but we're going to get on off of it. We're going to start to invite in some movement. So very gently, I want you to just kind of roll off of that block and scoot it out from underneath you. And keep it, because we're just going to transition it. Now, so we have options here. Option number 1 is taking that block, and we're going to put it under our hips for a supported bridge. Or if you'd like to flow through bridge with me, that's what I'm going to do. So 2 options here. Again, you can take that supported bridge if that's what feels good for you and your body. Or if you'd like to flow through 3 bridge poses, we're just going to get into that lower spine since we were just on that upper spine, tapping into this lower lumbar spine for a moment. So still bent at the knees, feet bottoms are on the mat. Hands are at your sides again. Put that block underneath there if you'd like the supported version. If not, we're going to inhale those hips up to the ceiling. And what I want you to do is scooch, shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you and maybe clasp your hands underneath you, lifting that chin, pushing the hips up. A heart opener, low back opener here, a throat opener. Inhale, lift the chin a little more, push up the hips. And exhale, release 1 vertebrae at a time. Release it back down. Windshield wiper out those legs. We're going to do that 2 more times, or again, you're just holding in that supported bridge pose. So inhale, hips come on up. Shimmy those shoulders underneath you. Grabbing your hands together. Finding that throat, chest, heart opener. Lifting the chin. Inhale, press them up a little higher. And exhale, release. Windshield wiper out the legs. We got 1 more here. So again, find where you're gonna go. We're gonna inhale those hips up. Don't mind the dogs losing it. Clasping the hands underneath us. Lifting the chin, pressing up those hips. Just opening up. Inhale, press it up a little more. And exhale, go ahead and release. Windshield wiper out the legs. The energy that I'm feeling here is very like, you know how, I don't know why my dog Jack is losing his mind. You know how when you have the weight of other people, the weight of all these rigid rules and opinions, it's on your shoulders and you're kind of hunched forward and your head is down and we're just very like curled in, almost like a protective stance. We're going to get all that stuff off of us and we're going to be able to open up. We're opening up the heart, the throat. We're just kind of like, I don't know, that's like the energy that's coming through for me right now. So as we're windshield wipering here, the next time your knees are over to the right, I want you to leave them there. And then option here, if this feels good, stay right here. Option to cross this right ankle over the left thigh just above the knee, getting into this outer hip, this IT band for a moment. And just tapping into the low back. And just breathing here. And then go ahead and release. Windshield wiper out the legs 1 more time. And then we're going to drop them over to the left. And again, maybe this feels good right here. Maybe you want a little more, so you're going to cross that left ankle over that right thigh. Getting into that IT band. It's one of my favorite stretches. And go ahead and release. Come back to your windshield wipers for just a moment. And then go ahead and bring the hips and legs back to center. Now we're going to gently roll over to one side, whichever side is comfortable for you. We're going to use that bottom arm as a pillow, finding a fetal pose. Just taking a moment here, keeping the eyes closed if it's comfortable. And then gently, when you're ready, you're going to press yourself on up to a seat. Nice and slow. Come into any seat that you are comfortable in. Keep losing my necklace. Get into any seat you're comfortable in. Now again, remember, this is easy seated pose, and that's what easy seated pose means for you. So maybe you sit on a bolster block, a blanket, maybe you extend the legs doing what feels good for you here. We're going to bring our hands to our knees, palms facing down, and we're going to start to flow and open up this throat chakra. So you're going to inhale, lifting the chin, pushing out the chest, dropping the head back. Really, really lift that chin. Feel that throat open. Exhale, round, drop chin to chest, dome out the shoulders again. This is kind of what I feel when you have the weight of other people's opinions on you. And then we inhale, we open up, and we let go, and we're able to kind of hold our chest, hold our chin high. Exhale, round. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round. Now do about 5 more of these on your own breath. Linking your breath to your movement. Doing what feels good here. Maybe take in some full chest circles. Maybe rock from side to side again, listening to your body here. And as always, following your breath. And finish up this last round. Coming back to a neutral spine. Now we're going to interlace our fingers together. And first you're going to bring them to the back of your neck. So right where your skull meets your spine, you're going to drop your chin to chest. Now you're just going to let gravity do its thing here. I don't want you to pull. We're getting the back of the throat, the back of the neck. Breathing here. This is a great stretch if you're like me and you have tech neck from being on your phone or your computer all the time. And go ahead and gently release, keeping those fingers interlaced. Now we're going to bring the back of the hands to right underneath the chin. And you're going to inhale here and exhale, opening up the elbows, using those hands to press the chin up and back, gazing up, opening up that throat, breathing. And gently go ahead and release. Now we're going to transition to our hands and knees, nice and slow, coming to our tabletop. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to do the cat-cow with a little wrist variation, because again, Aquarius rules those wrists, those forearms. So what I want you to do is you're going to take your right hand, I'm going to do it on my left just to demonstrate, and you're going to turn it back towards you. Now if this is too uncomfortable, you can totally skip this. If you have sensitive wrists or a wrist injury, I would say maybe avoid this. But you're turning that hand back towards you, and we're going to do some cat-cows here. So you're going to inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, arching the back. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale, 3 more. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round. Inhale, open, really lifting the chin. And exhale, round. Inhale, last one. Exhale, round. And inhale, come back to neutral. Release that hand. We're going to take it to the other side. So again, taking that hand now should be your left. Turning it backwards towards you again. If you have a wrist injury, maybe just take it easy. Skip this one. And we're going to inhale, lift up, open up the chin, open up the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, really lift that chin. Exhale, round. And go ahead and release. Now we're going to take some circles around those wrists just to kind of get some of that stagnant energy out. I know that felt funky. So what I want you to do is you're going to inhale, kind of circle your shoulders over to the right, coming through center. Exhale over to the left and back, almost coming to a child's pose here. Inhaling up to the right. And exhaling, coming down on the left. You're almost drawing a circle with your chest here. We're kind of finding some mobility in those wrists. Again, just take it easy here. Doesn't have to be big circles, they can be small. And the next time we're through center, we're going to take it in the opposite direction. Inhaling up the left and exhaling down the right. And gently coming back to your neutral tabletop. Now what we're going to do here is a puppy pose. So your hips are going to stay over your knees, and you're going to walk those hands out and drop the chest to the mat. Now if this feels a little too intense for you, you can take a wide-legged child's pose. Your chin is going to be on the mat. We're gazing up towards our hands. And we're breathing here. A few more breaths. Opening up the heart, the shoulders, the throat. And gently on your next inhale, you can come back up to that tabletop. Take your time. Now we're going to find our first downward facing dog of class. So when you're ready, I want you to tuck those toes and inhale those hips up and back to the wall behind you. Taking a moment here to find this downward dog stance and upside down V on your mat. Maybe taking a moment to pedal out the feet, pressing the heels down towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they can touch. Pressing into those palms. Maybe rock out the hips. Maybe shake the head. And then go ahead and find stillness. And we're going to inhale, gaze up to the top of our mat, and exhale. I just want you to travel forward. So maybe that's a bunch of small steps. Maybe it's one big step forward, coming into a forward fold. Keeping those feet wide if you need to make space for the thighs, the belly, the chest. And just taking some time here. Rocking from side to side, finding movement, finding your breath. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. And now come to stillness. Now what we're going to do is you're going to grab a hold of your blocks. We're going to take some twisty folds here. So we're going to twist, we're going to be crossing our legs, twisting our legs. Tap into that Aquarius energy of our calves here. So I want you to place your right leg in front and your left leg behind. Now, if you're like me and you got some thick thighs, you might not be able to twist too deeply, and you can keep a bend in those knees. We're just going to hang out here. You should feel this in the low back and that right leg. Again, keep a micro bend to your knees if you need it. Breathing here. And go ahead and switch it out. So now left leg is going to come in front, right leg is going to come behind. And again, just remembering it's okay. If they don't go super deep, it's okay if you keep a bend in the knees. Breathing here. A little bit something different. This is really great for those hamstrings. Again, the IT band, low back, outer hips, and those calves and shins are working here. And then we're going to go ahead and gently release back to your forward fold stance. You can scooch those blocks out of the way. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale those hands to heart. Take a moment here. Close the eyes if it's comfortable. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Back to our intention, our affirmation. I will speak my truth. I will be authentically me. I will express myself freely. Letting go of all those rules and regulations and limiting beliefs put on us by society. And remembering that yoga is a way that we can practice this, right? Making yoga our own and doing the poses that feel good for us in our bodies and taking those variations are expressing yourself authentically. It's your yoga. It's called yoga practice, not yoga perfect. It's yours. So think about that, and we're going to flow here. So what I want you to do is inhale. Lift those hands up. I want you to lift that chin, open up the throat, take a little heart and throat opener here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms come up. Again, lift the chin, open up the heart, the throat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one, inhale, arms up. Take that little heart, throat opener. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And this time we're just going to gently plant our hands. And I want you to take your time just stepping back and then coming down to the knees. And then come all the way down to the belly. Again, take your time to get here. And you can transition however you like. If you like to step back to downward dog or high plank and then lower down. Again, make this practice yours. So we're going to bring our hands right underneath our shoulders. We're laying on our bellies. We're going to press into our palms and inhale. Lift the head, the chest, the shoulders for a low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift on up. Really lift that chin. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale. Lift that chin up. Lift the gaze. Exhale, release. Now go ahead and gently inhale, lift up, and then come to your forearms. So we're coming to a Sphinx pose here. Again, tapping into this Aquarius energy of our forearms, our wrists, pressing those into the mat. Really making sure here your shoulders are pressed down from your ears. And now option to stay right here, or option to press into those palms, straightening the arms, and then you're going to gently walk your hands back again, taking the slow, taking it step by step, until you're in a high cobra with your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Chest is open, chin is lifted. And now what we're going to do here is you're just going to shake your head. No, really slowly, really exaggerated. And you're going to say, no, I'm not going to hold on to those old ideas, old beliefs, other people's opinions that don't serve me anymore. Actively pushing those shoulders, those palms down into the mat. And then you're going to nod your head, yes. Yes, I am going to speak my truth. Yes, I am going to live authentically. Nodding the head, yes, really lifting up that chin when you bring the head back. And go ahead and come back to neutral. Inhale here and exhale. We're all going to find a wide-legged child's pose. Bringing the knees wider than the mat. Bringing those hips back towards your heels and sinking on down. And I want you to breathe here in this child's pose. I'm just coming up to get some water. You do too if you need it. And in that child's pose, I want you to breathe deeply. And I want you to think about again, what is living freely and authentically and speaking my truth and expressing myself? What does that look like? What does it look like to live without the constant fear of the opinions of others? What does that look like? What do you need to release to find that? Seal this with a breath. I will be authentically me. Take a big inhale in through the nose. Fill the chest, fill the belly. And open mouth, exhale. On your next inhale, lift up from that child's pose. And you're going to come to a seat on your knees. Keep those blocks nearby because we are going to use them here in a moment. But what we're going to do is get into those shins, those calves, and those ankles. So it's going to feel a little funky if you've never done this before. But I promise it'll feel good afterwards. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of stand on your knees and you're going to come and tuck those toes. You can also put a blanket or pillow underneath your knees if this is too much on your knees. My knees are popping. And then we're going to sit And you should feel this in the front of those calves, in your feet, in the shins. We're not going to sit here for very long because sitting in this position for a while, you definitely get some feet cramps. So we're going to breathe here. You can have your hands resting on your thighs, or maybe hands at your heart if that feels good. You can close your eyes if it feels good. Just a few more breaths. And now gently go ahead and release, coming back to the tops of your feet. So now we're going to get into the tops of the feet and the shins. So from here, again, you can place a blanket or pillow underneath you if that feels good. You're going to lean back, touching the mat beneath you, tenting the hands behind you. Again, lifting the chin here. And then what you're going to do is lift your knees up. Now, they might not come up very high. That's okay. Maybe bend into the elbows. You should feel this in the front of those ankles and the front of those calves. Lifting the knees very gently here. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time here. We're going to breathe. Maybe lifting the chin, tapping into that throat chakra a bit. And then gently, gently release. You can shake it out. Shake those hips from side to side. I know it felt funky. I promise it's worth it. And now we're just going to hang out here for a moment. We're just going to get into those wrists. Maybe take them in circles. Maybe take them in circles in the other direction. Maybe kind of shake them out. And this is also a good way to kind of expel some of that energy. So we're just pushing that energy away. A little bit of Reiki here, like get up, get away. Send it away. Shake out those hands, shake out those wrists. All right, my darlings. Go ahead and grab hold of those blocks if you need them. We're going to come to stand on our knees. We're going to find ourselves a little low lunge. So we're going to take these blocks. We're going to step out that right leg. Right knee's going over your ankle. Finding this low lunge using your blocks here on either side of that foot. Trying to keep that chest and chin lifted. So even though we're here on our blocks or maybe your hands on the mat, you're not slouched over, we're lifted. Feeling this in the left hip flexor, hips are square to the front of the mat. And we're going to breathe here in this low lunge. Taking our time. And I want you to inhale and exhale, straighten that front leg, flexing those right toes back towards your face, finding a half splits here. Just tapping into that hamstring for a moment. Again, keeping that chest lifted. We're not slouched and hunched over. Our chest is lifted. We're gazing up. And then inhale, come back to that low lunge. On the exhale, we're going to bring both hands or both blocks to the inside of that right foot. You're going to scooch that right foot a little bit up and a little bit over to the right. And you're going to open it up. I'm going to get my blocks out of the way so you can see what I'm doing with my foot. I'm opening that foot up. And I'm coming to lizard pose. Now, option to stay here on your hands or on the blocks. You can lower to the forearms. We're just getting into the hips a little bit here. This final little tap into our Cancer energy. Transmuting those emotions with our lovely full moon in Aquarius. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lower that foot back down, scooching the foot back into the center, again, between your blocks or your hands. You're going to press into the mat or into the blocks, and you're just going to step that foot right on back. Coming to a seat on your knees, shaking it out. And again, using a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees if you need it here. Again, coming to stand on our knees, stepping this left leg out now, bringing both hands or blocks to either side of that left foot, finding this low lunge. My chest is lifted, my chin is lifted, feeling it in this right hip flexor now. Breathing here, hips are square to the front of the mat. Taking an inhale here and exhale, straightening that left leg, flexing the left toes back towards my face. Again, keeping that chin lifted. keeping that chest lifted. Breathing into that hamstring. Inhale, coming back to that low lunge, and exhale, bringing both hands to the inside of that left foot, scooching the left foot out and open. Again, you can either stand your blocks, your forearms, the palms of your hand, in this lizard pose, whatever feels good. Breathing into this hip. This last bit of emotional release and transmutation here. And go ahead and gently release. When you're ready, bringing that foot back to center, pressing palms into the blocks or into the mat, and stepping that foot back. Letting those blocks release to the side. Again, we'll still use them, but just keeping them nearby for now. You can kind of rock those hips out. And now, we're going to work on a little camel pose. We're going to open up that heart. We're going to open up that throat. We're going to open up the entire front body here. So I'm going to give you variations. So I want you to listen to your body. I'm going to give you 3 different variations. The first variation, if you're like, I like that one, I'm going to stick with it. Feels good, stay there. Choose the one that works for you, right? So we're going to do it 3 times. So again, placing a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees if you need it. I'm coming to stand on my knees. My knees are hip distance apart. I'm going to bring my hands to my low back, right where my hips meet my spine. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades, my elbows behind me. I'm going to inhale, lift the chin, opening up the chest, lifting the chest, and exhale. I'm going to press my hips forward, press my chest up, and drop my head back. Lifting the chin as much as I can, gazing behind me, breathing. And take a big inhale as you very slowly, very gently release. So that is option 1. If you're like, that felt like enough, that felt good for me, I'm going to honor my body, and I'm going to do that one. I'll give you another option. So option 2, again, if you're doing the first option, you're going to do that. Here is option 2 for you. I'm bringing my hands to my heart now. And again, same concept. I'm going to inhale, press the hips forward, lift the chest, lift the chin, and then I'm going to extend my arms overhead. Again, don't forget your breath. Lifting the chin, opening up the throat, the heart. Take a big inhale, very slowly, very gently. Release back down. We go very slow because this is an easy pose to get a head rush in. Taking our time. All right, my darlings, we have 1 more. So, again, you can do either of the 2 options I just gave you, or if you'd like to try out this 3rd one, you're going to come to the balls of your feet. We're going to start as we started the first variation, so hands are coming to hips. I'm squeezing my shoulders and elbows behind me. I'm inhaling, pressing the hips forward, pressing the chest up, the chin up, and then maybe I'm going to reach for my heels. I'm going to breathe here. My gaze is back. My chin is up. And I'm going to take a big inhale, release. And slowly exhale, come back down to a seat on my legs. And just rock it out here. Grab some water. Camel pose is one of those, I love to hate it. Love-hate relationship pose. But as they say, the yoga pose you avoid the most is the one that you need the most. So we gotta do it. And you feel more open. Again, it's that energy of, when we're walking around with the weight of the world and other people's opinions on our shoulders, we walk around like this. We're gonna say goodbye to all that. We're gonna walk around like this, open, proud, chest is up, living authentically, living freely, living true to ourselves. All right, we gotta counterpose that, and we gotta get some pigeon in here. So what we're gonna do is taking our blocks, we're gonna step this right leg out, You're going to come to your blocks. And what you're going to do is you're just going to scooch this right foot all the way over to the left until you can lower that shin down to the mat, coming to your pigeon pose here. Now, if you still find that you have a bunch of space between this right hip and the mat, you're going to take one of those blocks and you're just going to place it right underneath there. You're going to sit on that block, bring the mat to you. Now take a moment to inhale for a little throat opener, heart opener, and then exhale. You can rest that pigeon, folding over that front leg. You can come again to your blocks, to your forearms, listening to your body. Where is your edge? Again, we're tapping into that Cancer season ending energy. We had that new moon in Cancer that started our moon cycle, and we're transmuting that energy into something that can work for us. Don't forget your breath. And gently coming back to hands or to the blocks. So you're going to press into those palms or the blocks, tucking the back toes, and just scooch that right leg back. Again, coming to table or to your knees, shaking it out for a moment, and then we'll take it to the other side. So again, you can use blocks or your hands. We're going to step that left leg out now, coming to that low lunge, and then taking your time here to scooch that left foot all the way over to the right, lowering that shin to the mat. And again, if you find yourself with all this space between you and the mat, you're going to place a block underneath there, taking a moment to inhale, lifting the chin, lifting the chest, and then we exhale and we fold. We breathe here. And we focus on this final release. What needs to go? What opinions of others? What limiting beliefs? What rules? What supposed tos? What do you gotta let go? The supposed tos is a big one for me. Like, my life was supposed to look this way, or it should look this way because that's what my parents or society or whatever told me to do. Let go of it. It's all about what you want to do, not what anyone else wants. Gently coming back to those palms or to the blocks, pressing into them, tucking those toes, and then just transitioning that leg back. Coming to a seat now on your butt. And we're going to gently transition to our backs. I'm going to keep these blocks at my side because we will be using those. So I'm coming gently down to my back, taking my time, nice and slow. And once we're here, I want you to extend your legs long. You can have your arms out to either side. Now, leaving the left leg extended, we're going to draw this right knee in. So 3 options. 1, you can just bend your knee just like this. Foot bottom is on the mat. Option number 2 is you can pull that knee into the chest. You can use a strap or you can use your hands. So I'm going to grab that shin, pull it into you. Maybe you hang out here. Or option number 3 is you're going to reach for that right foot and come to a half happy baby. Again, you know your edge, you know your limits, so find that place. Breathing here into those hips. And gently release that right foot, extend it long onto the mat. And same thing on the left here, we're going to bend that left knee in. And again, maybe you stay right here. With that left knee bent, foot bottom down on the mat. Maybe you want to draw that knee in. Use a strap or your hands to kind of pull that knee into your chest. Or maybe you want to grab for that foot. Find this half happy baby. Breathing into that hip. Again, transmuting this energy. Transmuting these emotions into something we can use. Letting go, releasing. And go ahead and gently release that left leg, extend it long. Take a moment here, just take a nice big morning stretch. Like you just woke up this morning, take up space. Maybe roll the fingers, or the toes, or the ankles, or the wrists. And then we're going to bend into the knees. We're going to take one more bridge pose here. This time I want us all to do a supported bridge. So bending into the knees, bringing feet bottoms to the mat. Pressing those hips up, scooching that block underneath you. Finding the supported bridge pose here. Again, really making sure we're lifting the chin. So we're still getting into that throat. And as we breathe here, I want you to repeat your affirmation, your mantra. I will be authentically me. I will speak my truth. I will express myself authentically. I will be me. Just think about, what does that look like to you? What does that feel like? Feel it in your bones. Visualize that authentic self. And a quote that I saw about this is we always hear authentic self, highest self, best self. I offer you the idea of your favorite self. Because highest self, best self, those kind of might show up in like we're trying to embody what we think that our highest self should be, should act like. But what is your favorite self? How do you show up as your favorite self, your most authentic self? So think about that here. And gently, we're going to take a supported shoulder stand, or if you'd like to take a full shoulder stand if that's in your practice, we're just going to draw those knees into the chest, still seated on that block, and just straighten the legs to the sky. And here, once more, we're going to tap into that Aquarius energy of our shins, our calves, our ankles, and just maybe point and flex the feet. Take some ankle circles, just making sure you get both directions. You can also take some wrist circles while we're here. Getting into the forearms, the calves, the wrists, the ankles. Also that circulatory system that Aquarius rules, we're getting our blood flowing in that opposite direction. And just taking our time here and then drawing our knees back in. Lowering them down to the mat. Scooching that block out from underneath us. And go ahead and release. Now take your time here to do any final pose that you feel like you might need. Maybe you want to do a full happy baby. Maybe you want some twists. Whatever you feel like your body needs in this moment. I don't know why windshield wipers has just felt so good to me lately. So I'm going to go here. Honoring yourself. Being authentically you. And doing what you need right now in your yoga practice. Take your time, but when you're ready, we're going to find our final pose, our Savasana. So I open up again, lots of options to you. You can take your just full corpse pose, taking up space on the mat, letting limbs fall where they may. I encourage you to maybe just take a second to tuck your hips under, tuck that pelvis under to bring that low back to the mat, especially if you have a big booty like me. Option to take Supta Baddha Konasana, so that's feet bottoms there to touch, opening at the knees if you want to get into those hips a little more. And just do what feels right, do what feels good. I'm taking my arms above head just because I have a little bit of crick in my neck and my shoulders, so I'm just getting into that for a moment here. Again, we're just listening to our bodies. And we're going to settle in here, and I want you to again think about and visualize what living truly and freely looks like to you. What being your authentic favorite self looks like, and I want you to visualize that as we're here in our Savasana. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Just breathe. Gently, when you're ready, bring your awareness back into your space and back into your body. Maybe start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, invite some movement back in. Maybe roll out the wrists or roll out the ankles. Point and flex the feet. And gently you can draw the knees in. Maybe give yourself a little squeeze here. You can rock the knees from side to side, massage out that low back. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop over to that fetal pose to one side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Taking a moment here of stillness and silence. Remembering that fetal pose symbolizes fresh starts and new beginnings. And then gently, when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a seat. Any seat that you are comfortable in. Keeping those eyes closed if it feels good for you. Bringing those hands to either side of you, feeling the mat beneath your fingertips. Inhale, arms come up. Taking all that wonderful energy we just created. Exhale, bring them back down. One more release of what doesn't serve you. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, draw hands together to touch and bring them to that heart center. The light and love and favorite self in me honors the light, the love, and favorite self in you. We bow to our practice. Thank you. That is all I have for you today. My darlings, my lovelies, thank you so much for practicing with me. I don't know why, just this class just made me feel good. IDK, I feel good today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what your favorite self looks like, what you're letting go of, all that jazz in the comments. I do have courses available. I just lowered the prices on all of them. So if you're interested in more yoga, self-love, mindful eating, check out my courses. I'll put a link in the description box. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I have more content there. I do free yoga every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Instagram. I do tarot readings on TikTok Live sometimes or on Instagram Live, depending how I feel. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming. If there's something specific you'd like to see from me, just please let me know. And just thank you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Have a wonderful full moon, and I'll see you next time.